Hello, YouTube. Garrett Robinson here. Welcome back to Vloganovel, the show where I live write books on this YouTube channel, my YouTube channel called Vloganovel. It is, as it has been for the past few episodes, November, which is, of course, NaNoWrimo, National Novel Writing Month, and I am writing the second book in my series, the Nightblade volumes. The second book, the one that I'm writing currently, is called Mystic. The first book is called Nightblade. It's this one right here. And that book is on sale right now on pretty much every ebook selling platform, Amazon, Kobo, thingy. So if you don't want to buy the paperback, which let's face it is pretty sexy, but if you do like reading ebooks, it's only $1 on pretty much every sales platform. But we right now are writing Mystic. So let's get into that. We will kick on our writing music. As always, we begin with Gethsemane. And let's begin. Oh, I have to start my timer. Whoops. I'm very terrible at telling my family when I'm actually on writing time. Okay, kids, that paragraph is way too fucking long. That's the sort of thing that you handle in editing. Not right now, because we're still on our first draft. We're not doing anything with it right now. 177 words. That's like, I mean, that's not an entire page, but that's like half a page of description about one woman. I have a feeling I'm going to slice that down considerably when it gets to the editing process. But you know, first draft, you just pour it all out there. I think there's a couple of really good lines in there, some nice prose, something that's going to make people go, oh, all right. And the rest of it's going to get axed because it's way too fucking much to say about one person. Oh, crap. I haven't loaded up comments. What are you people saying to me? Max said, wow, you write fast, man, makes me feel lazy. It's all about plotting and outlining and everything. And I'm telling you, the longer you let an outline sit in your mind, but I don't mean just sit in your mind. You write the outline and then you think about it and you think about it and you go back to it every couple of days and you work on it more and more and more. Like when I get to this point in the writing process, I'm not thinking of what's going to happen. I'm just recording the movie in my mind. You get what I mean? Like I'm seeing what's happening and I'm just kind of putting it down in the prettiest language I can think of, which is going to get prettier when I get to editing it, but it's just yeah, and then it's just typing fast, which if you want to learn how to type fast, play a lot of StarCraft and don't do voice chat. Play a lot of StarCraft and do only online StarCraft and do only what do you call it? Type chatting. That's how I learned to type. No shit. Never took a typing class. StarCraft all the way. And they say video games aren't good for you. X said that's really fascinating. I learned to type fast from raid leading and WoW without voice chat. Video games all the way. Video games all the fucking way, man. Telling you. Dude, video games taught me fucking math and resource management, typing, problem. Dude, video games are the shit. I mean, come on. Anybody argues with that, they don't play the right video games. One little thing I try to do when I'm writing my first drafts, which comes out more when I'm editing the book is I try to think of sayings that might actually exist in the world, like little like catchphrases or like little like the punchline of a fable. You know, something like sour grapes. Like everybody knows what sour grapes means in if you speak English and you know like Aesop's fables, you know what sour grapes are. um Even though that might not mean anything in another, like in another language or another culture, it's like you sort of, so I try to think of little sayings, um and I just toss down kind of whatever my first impression is, and then when I go through editing I try to make them like more clever and more pithy. So like a clever foe is hard enough to outwit, and two may be impossible seems like something that like would be kind of one of those wisdoms that like has a story behind it, which may or may not be a fictional story, but it's like it's that sort of thing that I try to put in to make the world seem more otherworldly, but also more, I don't know, relatable to you know, a modern reader who doesn't exist in the world. Dylan commented, keep plugging away at it, man. Just curious, how many words have you written so far tonight? I just finished 4K myself. Well, today I got up at 3 a.m. this morning. And I wrote an hour then, and then I wrote an hour later, and da 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 da. So far, I've written 4,419 words today. Today, in this hour, I will probably write at least 2,000 words. So that'll be about 6,500 words at the end of this hour, and I want to get in it at least 2 more hours before the end of the night, because I want to not only finish Mystic in November, I want to finish Darkfire, because Darkfire is supposed to release on Christmas Day, and if I finish it before the end of the month, then I can order some, you know, copies of the paperback and send them out to people who pre-order them online. Blah 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 blah. Dude, guys, the more that I write in this series, by the way, for anybody who doesn't know the origin of Nightblade, it's actually more of like a background story. In other words, the world in which this exists is the subject of my big fantasy series that I've been planning for years, like 5 years now. I've been wanting to write this fantasy series, and I've taken a couple of attempts at it, and I just recognized immediately that I wasn't good enough to do it yet, and I didn't have the story firmly enough in my mind. So this year I had the idea, write this story about one character in the world going through this whole thing, and she'll go from town to town, city to city, and it will allow me to build the world a piece at a time and everything. And all of the places that she goes are going to be major locations in in the main fantasy story. In other words, this is just like one tiny, tiny little story that begins before the main fantasy series happens, and the Nightblade series is going to end after the main fantasy series happens. In other words, this is like if Tolkien wrote a book. I'm not comparing myself to Tolkien. This is just for comparison's sake. If Tolkien wrote a book about one character that started before Frodo left the Shire and ended like decades after the War of the Rings was won, like that would be what this series is. And so anyway, there's all these things that I'm just like, oh, can't wait until we get to this in the main series. Max commented, a quick tip then on sayings from Sweden. We say one feels as one deserves, or better to flee than to fence badly. Fence is in fencing. Don't know how well it makes sense in English, though. Better to flee than to fence badly. I kind of like that one. It's interesting. I don't know what character that would apply to now, but it's an interesting thing to keep in mind for like a future character who's all about like proper form when dueling and all that sort of shit. Max commented, "That sounds awesome. Could be like this Don Quixote kind of character." Yeah, kind of, a little bit. I think that, I mean, Don Quixote, especially because of what the word became in the language, like implies like a super quixotic character, and Lauren is not going to be that for long. She is, but something's going to happen at the end of book 3. It's so hard not to spoil anything for you guys. Something's going to happen at the end of book 3 that's just going to fuck with her world. It's going to it's just going to detonate Lauren's whole idea of everything. Like one of the central conflicts that she's had as a character throughout both books, but especially in Mystic, is just going to be flung out the window and trampled in the mud by the hooves of many horses. And she's going to have to grow up quite a lot. Lauren's going to go through so much shit, you guys. She's going to go through so much shit. Anyway. Ugh. God damn it. Max commented, well, if she goes through enough shit, you could get your own show on HBO. That would be amazing. Not gonna lie. As long as I got to direct all the episodes, I'd be fine with that. Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the Latin word corona, basically crown and krona, the Swedish word krona for the currency, and also the Danish word krone, all have like a very, very similar origin, which is why there was a currency of crowns. Was there an actual currency of crown? Yeah, Denmark has crowns. And I have experienced multiple fantasy worlds that use crown as a currency. That's very interesting to me. Hmm. Oh, Alexandra commented, wow, didn't even realize this was live. Hi, Garrett. Hi, Alexandra. Alexandra is my new friend on Tumblr, and we have a lot of fun over there. She reblogs all of my posts, which is very good for my ego. Why is the scotch always gone? Max commented, krona literally means crown in Swedish. The actual coin has a crown on it and the face of the current king. Good to know. Cool. That's awesome. Well, it'll please you to know that both the word krona and the word crown come from the Latin word corona, which is now the name of a beer, but, corona, like the ancient thing of a, kind of a glowing halo of light. Dun dun dun. Chapter 4. Dun dun dun. Alexander commented, "Hey, you post interesting stuff. We actually have similar interests. I also only follow people on Tumblr with extreme elitism, so my pool is small. I am the same way. I follow very few people on Tumblr, but I love almost all of the posts of the people that I follow. It's amazing. Tumblr is my favorite social media network. It's the best." 4 minutes left, and I'm not even at 2,000 words. Alexandra said, "Jordell is my favorite character. Please tell me he stays around for a long time. I'm not reading what you're writing on purpose. Don't want spoilers." Alexandra, I will tell you this right now. Jordell stays for a very long time. And even if he didn't, he's a character from the main fantasy series that the Nightblade Chronicles are actually just like a backstory for. He's in those other books. He's so far, at least, he's the most major character in the Nightblade series. He's like Galadriel, where like his role in Nightblade is relatively minor, but when the bigger story is told, he's super cool. Hey, we hit 2,000 words. Okay, 2,077 words. Plug that into NanoWrimo. Today's word. 1,838. 18,838. Okay. Yeah, we're looking pretty good. I wouldn't have to write for the next 2 days if I didn't want to, but I'm trying to finish not only the second book, but the third book as well. That's this writing hour of Vloganovel. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you guys for your live comments. It's great for keeping me interested and motivated while I work. I really, truly appreciate it. Thanks, Alexandra, Max, Dylan, for, you know, chiming in with your live comments and everything. I will do definitely one more hour tonight. I want to do at least 2 more hours tonight, maybe 3. But we'll see how it goes. Depends on family and this, that, and the other thing. This has been Vloganovel. I'm Garrett Robinson. A quick reminder: the first book in this series, Nightblade, the ebook is on sale for 99 cents on all platforms: Kindle, Kobo, Nook, iBooks, everything. And if you want to find links to all of those places, the blue section of the screen below my face, garrettbrobinson.com/nightblade, has links to all of the stores where it's currently on sale for 99 cents. I will see you guys in the next hour. Thanks again for tuning in. Bye.